Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where we take a look at the most recently launched Kickstarter on planet Earth for board games, and we go over my brutal, honest thoughts on it, what it does well and what it does not do well. So right now we're going to be in the tabletop games, the newest, and what do we got? MEMOtrix Dungeon Edition. So I won't do role-playing games because that's completely out of my wheelhouse, but this is not. So what do we have here? $234 needed, a collectible series of pocket games inspired by classic memory with new rules to enrich the experience and inspired to geek subjects. MEMOtrix Dungeon Edition, in quotes. Oh my gosh, this is so busy. There is so much going on here. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. So, made with love by Good Ideas, Kickstarter exclusive Tricks Memo Dungeon Edition. Printable PDF available, no shipping cost. A collector series of 1v1 memory games inspired by lovely geek subjects. There we go. At the very bottom left is what I'm finally looking for. All this other stuff is... Let's see this video. I'm expecting just absolute insanity here, which is not always a bad thing. So let's go. Am I missing the sound? I don't want to blow your eardrums out. There's no sound. What? Am I watching? What is this? What is this? Okay, there we go. It's a memory style game. Very useful tool for dungeon. Wait, what? What was that? What did I miss? What's a very useful tool for dungeon masters? What is? Oh, okay. So this could be used while role playing. Okay, that's good to know, because that means there's a very specific audience for this. And in fact, I'll probably bring this up on the weekly Alabama show that I do every Wednesday night. So 27 created and 2 backed. Wow, I'm intrigued. Is it going to let me go? I hate you so much, iPad. Okay, so I can't get this. Come on, man. Don't be like this. How do I get out of here? There we go. No. There we go. Story. As you all know, sadly, we are living very hard times. We've been forced to stay locked in our houses, and we needed to look for recreating activities. That's why MEMOtrix was born. It gives us reasons to use our lockdowns period. Why is use in quotes? To use our lockdowns period by designing, creating, and testing the game. We hope that you will enjoy this project and that will give you joy as much as it did to us. Okay, so English is not their first language, so all that... wiped under the rug. That is what it is. Why? During previous months, we launched and completed several Kickstarter projects, 27, about board games, especially pocket-sized ones, as My Little Dungeon. Please check it if you like. They should post a link there. And gaining experience in developing them, because I actually want to check it out now. Our aim with MEMOtrix is to give our backers and supporters a cool and lovely pocket-sized memory game, adding to classical rules some spicy add-ons to enrich the game experience. Of course, the game will be made available with easy and classical rules too. I'm excited right now. This is just a prototype. The complete game will have HQ materials, high quality. I'm going to guess maybe they didn't want high quality because it would bump them down to another line or something. I don't know. Now, new, deeper rules will allow players to cheat and to plan a long-term strategy to collect triple tokens and defeat their opponents. I don't know if cheat's the right word there, but I kind of hope it is. A special token, too, will enrich and vary strategies and tactics. Okay, I'm interested. What? We will create a small, cool, and collectible object taking inspiration by geek subjects. For this first phase, we will give it a dungeon setting, perfect for all those who like role-playing games and fantastic fiction. A cute mini treasure chest will host 25 small tokens. Okay, so it's actually going to be a mini treasure chest. That's kind of cool. Representing classical objects you will find as a reward going into the dark dungeon. All right, where? Wait. That doesn't tell me how to play the game. So you can use them to play Memo. How do I play the game? We are ready to ship your rewards worldwide. Print and play rewards will be no shipping costs. Blah, blah, blah. Made with love by the Good Ideas. What else? Can you tell me how to play the game? As you can see in rewards description, we will create some special edition of the game. Dungeon Edition Plus. For each object involved in the game, we will create a special story. So you can see... What? Oh, if you buy the special edition of the game, you can get the game that has a theme. And if you don't buy the special edition of the game, you apparently get the game that doesn't have the theme, and then there's a collectible 1 of 20 you'll get. So this is like the super nice special limited edition, just 20 copies available, with a customizable dedication and serial number. Wow, signed by the author. Okay, I can get behind that, whatever. See, I want it all. As often as often in our campaign, you can choose the total reward, receiving everything involved in this campaign and the complete collection of books, ideas, 1, 2, 3. So what I'm going to guess is that with these other 27 created, they've developed, they found their niche, which is good for them. So I have to look at this from that perspective as well. So what is this? Ideas, hooks, and pilots for a very useful tool for Dungeon Masters. What is this? Please check it by clicking the link. I don't want to click the link. I want to stay on Facebook. Or not Facebook, whatever this is, Kickstarter. Thanks so much for the attention, Rick's challenges. Okay, so there we go. No comments, no backers just yet. Very interesting Kickstarter. I'm very disappointed that my stinking fate... So this is... I can't see anything here. All right, I'll have to try a different app tomorrow. So what's the cost? The $5 for the print and play. $5 for the print and play. Wait, what's the difference between these? Oh, that's the early bird PDF. Okay, 6 people can get that. The Dungeon Edition. So it's $17, you know? Okay, this isn't bad. I think enough people will take a stab on this because here's the thing. Honestly, if wow, this is a really hard one because I'm really annoyed at the fact that there's no gameplay, especially for a game that seemingly has incredibly simple gameplay. All right, tell me about the ways I could cheat or trick or do all that sort of stuff. Tell me how to play the actual game, and nowhere in here do I see the actual game and how to play it, which drives me nuts. But I think this is absolutely going to get back because of its incredibly low funding goal and its very unique concept and the fact that they've created 27 of them. So I feel like the niche is going to get this across, but I also feel like some people are really kind of going to be into this. The idea of having their own kind of custom game, like, oh, how do I get this game? Oh, you can't. You know, he made like 74 copies of them, and he made them all by hand, or she made them all by hand. And I think there's enough people to like that idea. I personally think it's kind of a cool idea. And it's not at a super expensive price. You know, when you're thinking of like a handmade custom game, you know, $17, that's not bad. $20, $24, I think they're in the right price range there, and I think this one will succeed. I think it will massively succeed to the tune of $3,800. And you say massively succeed? Well, when your goal is $234, you know, I'd say that is massively succeeding. I think maybe perhaps that's a bit ambitious, but I think there's going to be enough people who are interested in this sort of thing, and hopefully they put out a stinking gameplay of it, but I'm interested in the game, quite honestly. So, how do I think it's going to get reviewed? How do I think it's going to eventually come out? I think that it will hold a very low score on Board Game Geek just because it is a memory game. It's just it looks like a very simplistic memory game. But then again, I don't know anything about the gameplay. But I believe what they're trying to say is this is going to be a simple memory game, but there's also going to be some cuts and some twerks and some different things like that to make it more interesting. So I will put it in the 6.7 category on Board Game Geek. I think that's what it will get its final review. I think the people that do invest in it will like it enough that they'll give it decent numbers, and so I think that will happen. Now, as for my own personal ranking, if I ever happen to get this game in my hands, I think I will probably be substantially higher on that. So I'm already normally higher than the BGG rankings by about a 0.5 or 0.6 on average. However, with children's games and with kids' games, I always look at them from an extra perspective that a lot of people don't look at them from, which is the educational aspect of the game. And I get to use these kids' games a lot with the kids that I work with, even though I'm currently not working right now, which is why you should check out the Patreon. But this was even the outro. But yes, I think I will probably have this more around a 7-ish, 7.5. I think probably a 7.5. Just because that treasure chest is going to get kids excited about playing the game. And little things like that I consider when I'm, you know what, I might even go with an 8. I might even go with an 8 because I could see myself potentially saying about this game, this is the kind of game you could play with a 3-year-old if it's just a straight up matching game, but then you could play it with a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old if it has more gamey style rules. So this could be a game that your family grows with. And I'm starting to see the appeal of this game, and heck, I think I might have just talked myself into backing it, but I'm not going to because we're trying to tighten the belt strings. But there you go. That is MEMOtrix Dungeon Edition, today's Kickstarter critique. If this looks like it might be your cup of tea, be sure to click on the one of the Kickstarter links and tell them Bauer's Game Corner sent you. Leave that comment so let's gain some attention on this segment because, you know, hey, I just brought this to your attention. I doubt you knew about this, right? But as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.